Hello everybody and welcome to my new tutorial. And first I want to say thank you to KJZ for the help and for the props and for the idea for making this katana tutorial today. So let's get started. First, I just have this scene. I deleted the default cube and I added image. So when you want to have an image like a background, like this sword, just need to go to add image and then you can add a reference or background. I think I had a reference, but I don't know a difference honestly, so I just added as a background. The second thing I want to do is go to the visibility, to the, oh, do we have it here, to the transparency and make it a little bit lesser, something like this. And the next step is to add a mesh and a cylinder so we can make this kind of holder for the weapon. I also have from PureRef all this kind of reference for this katana, and I found a very useful like kind of sheet where they say everything how the names is from the katana sword, so it's not bad honestly, so you know how the name will be. So let's get started. Now we just rotate the cube 90 degrees and scale it a little bit with S. And I just try to make this kind of form for now. So just put this here. So I just gonna take the edge select, go to wireframe mode, select it, and I just take it with G until we are a little bit here, something like that. And the next step is just press R, Control R to slice, to make a cut, and then S to scale this again. And I will do also this one a little bit smaller, again with scale. And put this maybe here. So the next thing, I press 1, go back to solid mode, and I will do this also the same, but I just scale it a little bit in the inside so it looks more like this kind of form here. Maybe just something like this. Yes, perfect. Now the next step will be this kind of wraps around the sword. You can do it in multiple ways honestly, and I think the way now I do this is more that I will select again a mesh, and I will select this circle like this. First rotate it 90 degrees, scale it down, so press edit mode, and I just something like this, just press E to extrude it, something like this. Okay, and then you can press with G, you can just pull it in it, something like this. The next step will be to add a shrink wrap modifier. You can find it here on the add modifier, and it's on this side here. You can apply the target, so we want this cylinder, and we want it above the surface, and project, so you can see it looks a little bit outside. So the first thing we do again is just to scale it a little bit more. Yeah. You can close this and add a solidifier. Add a little bit thickness to it, maybe 0.12, something like this, and then just rotate it a little bit with R, so you can see it tries to hold the form to make like the first half of this wrap, something like this. Okay. Okay. The second one we selected but not in edit mode, and Shift D to duplicate it, and again wrap it around. So, and this, make this a little bit thicker so it doesn't interfere with the other one. Just try to make them a little bit even. More something like, where do we have it here? Something like this. Okay. Good. I think this one is not so bad. And the next step is to add an array modifier. But first we need to make the factor x to 0 and increase the z factor to 1, or better -1. We can just make for now 10. And now with this y, just need to try to find the middle here. Just need to put the array at the top. And the solidifier. Oh, no, solidifier not. But the array on the top, so it will try to hold the form. Okay. Now we'll do the same with this one. Add an array modifier. Increase it to 10. -1. 0. And what do we had here? 0, 0.4, 1.6. 4. 6. So now we can just make the same. Now we have this kind of wrapping style here. Okay, doesn't look so bad, honestly. So I just make this one a little bit smaller here, and this one also, so can select it with the face select. Just put it a little bit back. Okay. Good. The next thing is the, wait a minute, what was the name? I think, I don't know. I don't know that it will be this, how to say this? Fuchi, I don't know. This one is the other one. But well, we try to do this one. This one is also very easy. I just take this face, select it, Shift D to copy it, just drag it a little bit out and press P, selection. So you can put this away from the other side. So it's his own object now here. And first I will set this origin to this geometry, so it's in the middle. Again, put it back and just extrude it until we are here. So. And honestly, the same with this one here. Select the face, Shift D, put it a little bit out so you can see it. P, selection, select again, just drag it out, and you can press Ctrl B to bevel it. So we can bevel it something like this. You can also put the segments here, but I just let it to 3, so it doesn't look so bad. Just drag it a little bit back. Okay. The next step is this Tsuba. So, sorry. So I will just go to my collection again and add a new circle. Rotate it 90 degrees. So. And I will just try to make like some kind of this same design here. So now sorry, delete it again. Just add a new circle. So we have this kind of circle here. Scale it a little bit. So. Okay, sorry. We can just select, sorry, all this side here. Just press S to scale it back a little bit. This one is a little bit more higher, so I just select this one here. So press E, so we can extrude it inwards. So we have one till here. Again, press it until maybe something like this. And we can scale it a little bit, so we have this kind of same form like this one here. And add with Ctrl R again 2 cuts. Okay. Next step is select everything and extrude it a little bit out. Don't forget to save. Okay, so select again the Tsuba, rotate it 90 degrees, and now we can check that it works. You can select it with G again, so you can move it freely. Okay, when you want, you can select this here, the edges here, and Ctrl B to bevel it a little bit. I just add 2 loop cuts, so it's just a little bit rounder, and you can shade it smooth, but don't forget to go to the normals and say auto smoothing. As you can see now, it's a lot of smoother. You can also make like 15. can see now all this fracture goes away, looks much sharper. You can do the same here. So it looks honestly a lot of better. Looks everything more sharp, more smoother. This one also. Good. The next step is these Habaki. Honestly, this one is also very easy. Just make a cube, scale it a little bit, and try to go better in wireframe to find this form here. And then don't forget to scale it on this side. Okay. They look a little bit special. So where do we have it? You can see it here very good. Ah, we forgot also the Seppa. So just a moment. Sorry. Control R to make a cut again. And then I will just select all the sides here, faces. Select these sides here, press F. And then select this side here, F, F. So we have this kind of cut in it. Okay, but we forgot just this Seppa here. So I just add a circle again. We don't need so many verticals, so 20 will be enough. Rotate it. And scale it a little bit inwards. Press E to extrude it a little bit. Press E again. Sorry, so just make it maybe okay. Press F and then just add 2 more cuts here. And on the other side it's not so important. And also, sorry, shade smooth with auto smoothing, maybe like 50. Now it looks better. Okay, the next thing is add again a cube. Just scale it a little bit. Now we will make the blade. But first I scale it a little bit. It's inside this kind of, how was the name again? It was not Tsuba, not Seppa, it was Habaki. So press 3 and again, before I will just tilt it, I just need to find the length. Something like this maybe. Okay, perfect. So I found this sheet here, so you can see honestly how the blade, here, how the blade is cut. So we can just make this one also. So we just take this side here. Make it maybe here. This line here. Go to, so press the button on the top of the tab button and select these little dots here, press M and say they need to find at center, so they will join together. M at center. So now we have this kind of form here, and it will go also a little bit sharper there. So I will just put this a little bit up. So, and this one can honestly, we can just dissolve the face here because we don't need it here. Okay. Now we can scale this one also again. Good. Select these two faces. Go to wireframe mode. Now we can also rotate this one a little bit more. And try to follow this sword, the blade. So I just press G to extrude it like this way until we are here. Just make it a little bit smaller. Maybe with wireframe mode it's easier. Press E and then again with G. Scale a little bit smaller and rotate it that it looks this to the front. Again E and then G. Again. Until we are here. And the last one. So. Okay. Next thing is we can select wireframe mode, this little dot here, just put it somewhere here, so follow just, oh sorry, now follow just the blade, just don't like this curve here, maybe something like this. Okay. Good. And the next thing we can make is honestly just here, select all this one here, press M and to the center, here also, so it's sharp in the front. And don't forget to shade smooth, but with 15 degrees, maybe 13 degrees, so you can see this kind of side. So it's beautifully sharp. Next thing we can do is just add a little bit more cuts. So it looks good. Okay, perfect. I think it's not so bad. The next thing we can do is this Sageo. So I'll just make a new collection. Maybe we can just copy this one here, because the size from this Sageo is honestly the same like the handle from the sword. So I just will copy it, put it here. Just drag it in it. And I will follow just the same concept like before. And here you can bevel it a little bit. And here we can delete the face. So when we put this here up, maybe can just check it. So I need just to make this one here a little bit bigger, just a little bit. And here we just need to make it a little bit better so the sword has place in it. And the only problem is here. So I think this one is a little bit maybe too thick for this. A little bit too big to sorry, so just scale it a little bit down, but first I just hide it so we doesn't have the problem with a blade. Just need to put it a little bit up. Then we just put it a little bit, so this is a bit bigger. Okay, nice. When we want to do like this kind of same effect with these ladder straps, we can just maybe just make a new one. So we just hide the base mesh from the sword, and again make a circle, rotate it to 90 degrees. And just extrude a little bit in edit mode. Sorry. Something like this. Yeah. Just put it again in. Sorry, select it and go to the modifier and add a shrink wrap modifier. And I want to project it on top and above the surface. And to see it a little bit better, we can add the solidifier to just a little bit thicker. I think 1.1, 0.1, no, 0.15 or maybe 0.2. Yeah. And we can just scale this the side a little bit so it's a little bit bigger. Just move a little bit. Has moved 15 degrees. Now we can just make something like this, or just the straps. Honestly, this one is a little bit special. These are like the normal. Maybe if can I just like 2. 1 and 2. And I can go to the modifier, make it a little bit smaller or a little bit thicker. And just copy this to here. Shift D. Just change a little bit the size. Okay. Just maybe no 1 again. Just scale it a little bit bigger. Maybe something like this. Yeah, there's a lot of difference between this. But I think for me it's like enough, like just some straps, honestly. Well, okay. So can just unhide the other collection. Sorry. And now we have just this kind of basic katana mesh. Just watch it in the preview. Just add a little bit of ambient occlusion. Doesn't look so bad, honestly. But we have something to work on it. But what I forgot is here. Sometimes they have some little... Where do we have it? Nice. This little hole here. So to make this is honestly very easy. I just make the origin here again to this one. I will make a cylinder. Press 1 and just rotate it 90 degrees. Scale it a little bit and just put it here to this little, I think it was the Kashira. We can scale it a little bit and also just scale it a little bit more like this. Okay, don't forget to shade smooth. Now we can select this one here and we can add a boolean, select this object and apply it, and I will just delete it, and now we have this hole here. So we have something to work with. And if you want just to make it that it goes inside, we can just add a curve. I will use a Bezier curve. Scale it a little bit and put it here. Maybe 90 degrees or something like that. Go to edit mode. But first I just make a little bit thicker. Something like this. Just scale it down. Okay. can rotate it something like this. They're a little bit difficult to control, honestly. Sorry. So what did I do? So just scale it a little bit. I just add a new one. Till we have like something like this. Maybe. This one a little bit bigger. So we have some kind of the same effect. Or you can just add a plane, scale it, and drag it here. Just scale it a little bit more. Select both edges and extrude it inwards here maybe, and then control bevel, just scale it again a little bit more. And when you shade it, you can add a solidifier. Just make a little bit bigger and add an auto smooth 15. So you have like some kind of the same effect, honestly, with not so many verticals. So we just delete this one here. Okay, nice. And we are honestly finished with the base model from this katana sword now. But the next step will be to make it ready for unwrapping, and I will just import it to the substance painter and texture it there. So we can just scale it and put this a little bit on the top. And I will start with this little one here. Just go to edit mode and select this face here. Press U and I will just mark the seam. So I just select all these verticals here. mark seam, select this one here, mark seam, select one on the top or on the bottom, it doesn't matter honestly. Good. And I think I can do this a little bit easier when I click to select similar. We can say the direction, and now we can add it a little bit here. No, this one will add everything. Maybe when we do greater. Or the length maybe. Well, it doesn't want to work, so I just select everything on manually. But a lot of times it's much more easier to go to similar, so go to select and then to similar, so you can earn a lot of time again and don't spend so much time just to select all these faces here. And press the mark seam. So, and just again, you can just select one here, and do this also. Now we can add the UV editing tab. And just put this one maybe a little bit away. So just press U and then unwrap. Now we can see here is a little bit the problem. So we just need to check it why it's like that. Maybe I forgot one. Yes, I forgot this one here. So I will mark the seam and then wrap it again. And yes, it was this one here. Now I can select UV selection mode, this fourth one here, and press with G, you can move it a little bit. So you can just, and you can also see it when you press here, which one it will be. But I will press A. So this one is the side that will be inward. So we just don't need so much place on the texture sheet. This one, you can just make it a little bit bigger. And this one also. And these are the sides, but we can just put them a little bit, something like this. And these are the inwards, so they don't need also so much place, place there. So we can just lengthen them a little bit. Just make this one. But the first thing that we will see is the side and this main mesh here. Okay, so this one is finished, and we can make a new material for it. So we can just watch how the name was. So I think it's Kashira, so I just add the name Kashira. So, sorry, I just took something to drink. Kashira. And the next step is this one here. But first we just need to apply all the modifiers. Go to edit again. This one is also easy. Just select both sides. Unwrap. Select this sides here. Oh no, sorry, not unwrap. Mark seam. Sorry. Mark seam, and on the bottom the same. Now we can just check it when we unwrap it. And again, try to make the best with the place we have. Scale it a little bit more. Okay. again add a new material. I will say Kashira underline strap maybe. Next we can make the main handle. Just set the origin to geometry. The handle's name is Samekawa, so you can say Samekawa. Oh, sorry, Samekawa. Go to edit mode. Now we can just again Control R and make 2 more loop cuts, so it has a little bit more texture in it. Then just press U, mark this seam here, mark this seam here, and just take one here. And this, should it be, we can just put these 2 here and scale this one a little bit more, and this one also. But these parts here are not so important, honestly, because you will not see these parts. They're hidden under other parts. The little bit trickier parts are now this here. So first we select one, go to edit mode, and now I will just select this, mark seam, select this one, and when you go now to the unwrap UV editing, just one side. So first we just need to assign it. We can just apply all modifier, go to unwrap, and now it applied to all. So they're a little bit difficult to make, so just try to let it like this, honestly. And the same here. Sorry, mark seam, maybe take this one here, apply all the modifier and unwrap it. So, okay, the next step is again make a new material, and the name is Tsuka Ito. So Tsuka Ito, and select the same material here, Tsuka Ito. So this one is also easy. Just mark the seams on the side and one on top. Don't forget to save, and then unwrap it. Now we have here a lot of place, so I just try to make this one here a little bit bigger, that we have more verticals, more place on the sheet here, because again we will not see the other parts. So, and what was the name? I think it was this. Well, it doesn't have like kind of name. It's like this part here. I would say now, I think it's this Fuchi. I think Fuchi. Okay. Now we have here the Tsuba. This one is a little bit tricky. It has a lot of verticals, so I just select again these verticals, the bigger one. So then I will select one here. Just make sure how it looks when I will select this one here. A little bit shitty, so I will forgot to select also one here. Maybe you can cut this also in pieces. So I will mark the seam here, and but delete it here. Clear the seam. And now I think, yes, now it looks doesn't look so bad. Just scale it. Just place this one here on the side. And I can just scale this one a little bit bigger now. And this one also. Okay. Create a new material, Tsuba. Next step is this one here. This has a little bit more vertical on this side here because you will see this on the sword. So it has more details than here. So verticals that you can work with. But we can just select all this here. And I think it will be very good. We have plenty place for this, so I just add this one here, the little one, and we need to check first the other side. So the other side you can just see, can't see. So when yes, so we doesn't honestly need this part here to be so big. More important is that these two parts are big, so it has many places to make the details on it, and this one here. Okay. Same with this one here. Oh, did I make a... No, I just don't assign a material. Okay, the name from this one will be this Seppa. So I just write this one here down. This is a Habaki, so Habaki. And now just select again all this side here. Mark seam. We can delete here one side. We can say this all faces, so it's just one. Again, mark seam. Here again. Okay, now we can unwrap it. Look how it looks. So we have 1, 2, then we have this sides. Maybe I can just make it a little bit bigger here on this sheet. So just put this one here, the other one here, this side. It's okay. So this side is inside, so we don't see this a lot. Put this here, but we see these sides here a lot. So I'll make them very big. And this one is under. Okay, yeah, the other sides are all visible, so I just try to make them so big that they can be. Okay, I think this one is okay, so now the blade. So did I name it? Yes. We can just name it also. This okay, it's just a blade, so blade. Blade. So not like the movie, just a normal blade. And now we can also select, just make it, press the slash button so we can just concentrate on this blade. So I just select all the side here, double click here on the bottom, then press mark seam, and I think when I'm lucky, yeah, this was everything. So now I just try to make this a little bit bigger. So make them a little bit more place to work with. And this one is also, I think, inside, so it doesn't matter so much. More important is that the sword has a little more place. So, okay. And the same with this one here. I will just select this side here, and now I will select one here, mark seam, here again, cut this one here in half and then unwrap it. Okay, and now we can just make the same here. So this one will be a little bit bigger so you can see them a lot. Just put them here, and I will just scale this one a little bit more so we can use the whole place from the sheet. Okay, and the same with this one here. But first the name, Saya. Oh, sorry. Saya. Which one has now Saya? This one, so I can delete it. Good. Here the same. Mark the seam. Apply it. Unwrap it. And just make them a little bit bigger. And I would just take here the material 001 and just add it as a strap. Okay. Okay, sorry. We're in the finish line. Honestly, I should first make this kind of unwrapping and then copy the straps. So it will be a lot of easier to make them now. So you just need to unwrap one, but for the future you can just make this first and then add it. Not like me now, sorry. This one is a little bit more time consuming now, but I'm also learning Blender. Just apply it again, unwrap it. And I needed a lot of time to understand this kind of unwrapping things. Also with Substance Painter, I don't know, I bought Substance Painter 2017. It was in a sale in Steam or something like this. But the problem was, honestly, I didn't understand how to work with Substance Painter, but it's very easy now. I just use the basic from Substance Painter, but it works now. And it's just a learning procedure. Good. And again, add all the strap materials, because we need these materials when we want to import it in Substance Painter. So every of this object has his own material, so you can make his own texture on it. Just check it, everything. Perfect. Okay. And honestly, this was the first half from the video, so it will be the first video and for this base mesh from a katana sword, and just to work on it so we can use it in Substance Painter. So everything is now finished to use it in Substance Painter, and in the next video I will show you how I will texturing it in Substance Painter. And if you have another idea, or if you have a special criterion to say, please write it in the comments. I'm also learning, I'm also new to Blender, and I really want to learn everything new, which I don't know. So thank you very much for liking this video, and thank you very, very much for all this help. Thank you guys. See you.